help but notice that Coach Jones likes to yell out to Quinn a lot during practice. He was one of the guys that kept getting it. I know a lot of times that's an encouragement for a guy that thinks has some potential or something. Is that what you think it is? I mean, it seems like Quinn was getting fussed out on the microphone as much as anybody today.
Sure, I think it might be some of that, and it might be some that he needs to get going a little bit. He's got to play at full speed, and with guys on their first day, it can be a little bit different. The way that we practice can be a little bit different. So when he's hollering at a guy, yeah, it's usually because he thinks that guy has some ability, but also it's not because he's necessarily doing everything tremendous, that's for sure.
Mark, you got, like, if you look at the 2 deep, it's 44 guys, but there's over 100 guys out there. As coaches, do you keep an open mind about maybe some guy, maybe he's a walk-on or maybe he's a freshman or whatever, that to see, can this guy help us? How do you do that instead of maybe just already having decided, well, this guy can help us and this guy will never play or whatever?
Absolutely. I mean, everybody's going to have their shot. They're going to have their opportunity to prove what they can do. And I can't speak for every coach, but I can talk about my position. And one great example of that is Alex Ellis. He's a walk-on for us, and he took reps with the ones today. And he'll continue to do that. Not every rep was with the ones, but he had some reps that were with the ones. And obviously not every walk-on or every scholarship guy is going to take reps with the ones. The guys that prove that they are deserving of it. And I don't think that there's a single guy on our staff, not a single guy in this program that cares about whether a guy's a walk-on, a scholarship guy, a fifth-year senior, or a true freshman. The guys that are deserving of those reps are going to be the ones that get them. And when you perform at a high level, you're going to get more of them. And when you perform at a low level, you're going to get less of them. Period, the end. All we care about is putting the best team together out there on that field so we can win ball games. That's it.
Thank you.
It's tough to talk about the ceiling on day one. It's just day one. But when you look at someone like Quinn with that build and that athleticism, what is the ceiling level, the ability for him?
We're finding that out as we go. Obviously, just like anybody that we recruit, we felt highly about him during the recruiting process, but it's no different than anybody when they walk in. What is on film and what we see when we get here, are sometimes going to line up perfectly and sometimes not. So after one practice, we're assessing him where he's at. I mean, this is my first day to get to work with him. So right now we're assessing exactly where he is, where he can contribute, where he can help us, and how much and in what capacity.
What was your retention rate for the veterans? I know Coach Jones.
Mental mistakes that were out there. We weren't blowing the whistle dead or plays dead because people weren't lined up in the proper position. There wasn't a lot of guys running into each other because they were running wrong routes or guys going the wrong direction on run plays. There wasn't a lot of that. So I didn't think that the retention was bad. It was more so just our sense of urgency, our fire to be playing as fast as we need to be. It wasn't, as we've been saying, the 16th practice. It wasn't the going from the 15 in the spring to taking a step forward to 16. It wasn't that. We weren't as sharp as what we were on that last day in the spring, and that's obviously what we want to be. We don't want to take any steps backwards before we go forwards. We just want to continue going forwards to be the best team we can be.
How does the fast pace affect the way that you substitute?
The fast pace does affect the way that we substitute. There's certain times that we will not sub people if we're trying to go at a certain speed and things along those lines. So it's a lot easier when it's not a scripted practice, when it's not a call-it-up situation, because you can look through the script and you can decide what your substitution patterns are going to be and when you're able to make those substitutions, because the tempo that we're running at for that play is in there. So it's easy to do that when it's scripted. It's a little bit more difficult when it's a call-it-up situation, but we didn't have any of those today. So today was an easy day to be able to flip guys in and out, get exactly how many reps you want on each guy.
How much does that put a premium on stamina and depth, obviously, at the position?
Stamina is absolutely critical to be able to play in this offense. You have to be able to give your maximum effort every single play, and what we're trying to do is get as many snaps as we possibly can in a game. So you have to have great stamina in order to be able to do it.
Or you're going to be seventh guy in every other play, I guess.
Or no, you're probably going to be sitting on the bench. Is what it's going to be. I mean, we're not going to have someone in there one play and then yank him out every other play. That's not how we do things. So if you don't have the stamina to be able to play 60 minutes and play at a high level for 60 minutes, then that's not what we're looking for. Exactly.
How many tight ends you typically play in a game?
We've played 3 tight ends consistently in a game over our last couple of years, so that's been pretty consistent as far as that's concerned. Obviously, it varies in number of reps. I mean, if you have a dominant guy, he's going to play 60 reps out of 80 or 50 reps out of 80, and the other guy's maybe playing 15 and 5 or 20 and 10. But if it's a more evenly distributed group, it could be a 30-30-20, something along those lines. So I'll say this, we've got 5 guys in camp. Every single one of those guys is vying to play for us on offense and on special teams, and we'll see how it all ends up working out in the end. But based upon where they are and how much difference there is in their ability will tell us how much each one's going to play. And there's the ability for multiple guys to play a lot in our system.
Thanks.